glasses on. I almost missed it. Welcome. Let me get a sip of my tea and get myself situated. Happy full moon in Gemini. The final and last full moon of 2025. This is a super moon. The last of 3 super moons we had at the end of this year. And this one's even more potent than before the other super moons, and I'll get into why. But I'm sure that we're feeling it. I know I am. So, hi Dustin. Okay, good, you got your wrench. Love to you all. We're just gonna give it a few minutes for people to come into the chat. Get myself situated here. How are we feeling? How are you feeling? For me personally, I've just felt very tired because I know that we're going back over a lot of stuff. And it's almost like, I'll use the analogy of if you're a dancer, you'd understand. You practice your routines, you practice your dance, and we are in this cosmic dance, right? Hi, Tori. And you get it, you get all the moves down, and you choreograph with others, and we've got the whole dance down. May have even performed it, yet we've got to keep practicing. We've got to come back and do it once again. And so over and over and over again, it feels like we've been doing this year, and we get tired. We get tired, but it serves a giant big purpose, and I want to talk about that. For anybody that actually is really going through a difficult time, finding this energy extremely challenging. It is the energy of, we've got to swim with this energy. Otherwise we sink, we get sucked into it. And if you do, you do. But notice the patterns, right? I felt collective grief, depression, not really anxiety, but I've just been feeling like all I want to do is sleep. All I want to do is sleep, and there's certain things, and this is in alignment with what I'm going to talk about, because we are still clearing and completing a very important chapter of the changes that we're going through since 2020. I think we talked about that the last full moon, going back through all of the different full and new moon cycles of this year. Because we had some great changes, some great realizations, revelations, and how we had been living our lives, and realizing that reality is not exactly as we were taught it was. And so we began to make some changes, right? Collectively, we're talking. I know many of us have gone through this prior to that. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Jenna, first live for you. Oh, welcome. I'm so glad that you made it. I find it interesting because I took all of these notes, and the Gemini energy with me can get me excited but a little bit scattered, so I'm going to try to stay focused on what I want to talk about. But the first thing I want to talk about is just the placement of this moon. Some would call it, what did I write down here? Okay, so the full moon in Gemini. Where do we start? The full moon in Gemini, super full moon, last full moon of 2025, last super full moon as well. This particular moon is out of bounds, meaning it is no longer in the bounds of the sun's ecliptic. Others would call it a major lunar standstill. What does this mean? It appears much larger and much higher in the sky, at least in the northern hemisphere, much higher in the sky than ever before. It's very noticeable. In the southern hemisphere, it would be opposite. It would be lower to the sky. This is really, I find a lot of this stuff symbolic. Read into the symbology of it. So the out of bounds super full moon, this is wild card. Wild card energy, really. It's got a northern declination, meaning that it's traveling through a part of the sky that's out of bounds with the sun's path. It's going to appear much higher in the sky in this northern, okay, got all that. So this happens every about 18 or 19 years. So we will not have another moon this large and this high in the sky until about 2042. So there's more rareness to all of this moon energy that we're experiencing. Whenever a planet or a luminary, sun or moon, is out of bounds, it operates outside of the realm of reality. Stay with me here. It brings sudden realizations, revelations, and intuitive downloads. The moon is big. It's as big as it's going to get, and as we're going to see for another 19 years or so. All right. So this moon is also doing something that is rare as well. It is in it's in a square. It's in a mutable grand cross. So you have the sun and moon opposing each other. Sun in Sagittarius, moon in Gemini, and then we have the lunar nodes, north node in Pisces, south node in Virgo, and so they're creating this grand cross, or making a square to the lunar nodes. Now, in evolutionary astrology, whenever a planet or a luminary makes a square to the north and south node of the moon, this represents skipped steps. Things that we were either hidden so much from us that we didn't see emotionally, mentally, psychologically, physically, or it is stuff that we've brushed under the rug, we've swept under the rug, we thought we were complete and done with. And this is a completion year. So this is heavy duty, powerful, important to pay attention to. What are you experiencing right now that you're almost internally like, I thought I was done with this, or here we go again? Pay attention, because there's something that we missed from prior moments of being able to actualize or be illuminated to something that's been hidden within us. This mutable grand cross is creating cosmic tension to reveal new timelines and choice points. We are at a crossroads, grand cross. And Lisa's in a 9-year also. Wow, well that, you're gonna swim through this, because the other side of it is liberation and freedom. And I will give some examples of my own realizations that I just had this morning on this for my own personal journey. And that might help some of you. Most likely, this will be in the department of relationships and money, or both. And it's tough but great too, she says. Relationships and money. So, highlighting skip steps, it's helping us shift from past karmic patterns towards our evolutionary growth. So we're being course corrected. The placement of the moon and the sun right smack dab in a square to the north and south node is sort of the halfway point from eclipses. This is like eclipse energy, where we are being course corrected or given the opportunity to get back on path, on our soul's path. And it can seem frustrating, or yeah, most likely frustrating with the opposition to Mars, yet and uncomfortable. But truly, when you allow yourself to go into the depths of what has been hidden, what you've hidden from yourself, or what we've swept under the rug, what we've bypassed, there's no bypassing in this energy. That's definitely something that I was realizing right away, like, oh, I have this great ability to just sort of bypass through these. And this energy is like, oh, no, you don't. Come back here. You're going to deal with this. You're going to deal with this in honor of you, in honor of how do you truly choose to experience life through your relationships, through money. Do you place value on yourself, or do you place value outside of yourself? That's the Venus aspect that is also in opposition to this moon. Okay. So stay with me here, because I don't want to go too far out there. That Sagittarius energy is big picture thinker. It is ruled by Jupiter. It is expanding our mind, expanding our perception beyond the limitations of the programmed mind. Sagittarius, right brain, right hemisphere of the brain. Gemini, left hemisphere of the brain. We've got the two working together, masculine, feminine. Okay, so the sun squares the nodes twice a year. The moon squares the nodes twice a month, but combined, the sun and the moon in a full moon, this is rare. And it's definitely divinely orchestrated for us to really break free from some kind of limiting belief, negative self-talk, trauma, the past. It's helping us break out of the past and realize that we do have more power than we know, than we are aware of. What subconscious stories and narratives and fears are still lingering beneath the surface, that's what's being illuminated with this moon right now. Black moon Lilith is in the mix with Venus, tightly conjunct Black moon Lilith in Scorpio. This is our insecurities, our fears, our doubts, our worries. Deep, hidden, but they're being revealed. So we talked about course corrections. We do want to reflect back on what we experienced during the eclipses, especially this year, because that energy is reactivated, re-energized. So let's go back here. What were we saying about the eclipses? September, full moon in Pisces, new moon in Virgo, and then April also. Things were coming to the surface. There were some course corrections going on at that time as well. New pathways clicking into place. Whether you're seeing them or not, believe it, because this is what's happening. New timelines, new pathways clicking into place. It's not easy, because we're already kind of comfortable in whatever we're in, even if it's not comfortable. It's known, right? It's familiar. This moon feels intense, and it's the biggest moon. It's got the biggest gravitational pull. And I will also add to that the sun is sitting right on the great attractor. We'll get into that next, which is a force of gravitation. Oh, I just got the chills. A giant force of gravitational pull, like a vacuum. But let's get back to the moon. It feels intense. It's jolting as we're being course corrected to break free of old patterns and limitations, stagnancy and complacency. Nervous systems may feel extra sensitive and overstimulated. So take time to ground and take care of your nervous system. The sun, so we've got 13 degrees of Gemini, which I may read from Inside Degrees if we get to it. And the great attractor is at 14 degrees Sagittarius. So the sun in Sagittarius conjunct the great attractor. I highly recommend, if you're not familiar with the great attractor, not a whole lot is known astronomically, yet there's a lot known within mythology and astrology. And from experience, I remember getting really excited about whenever we were having strong aspects with the great attractor. It's a mysterious astronomical anomaly with an immense gravitational field that is pulling the Milky Way galaxy and other galaxies that are close by towards it. It has the ability to bend light. And if you Google it, you'll see pictures. It's incredible. It has the ability to bend light, warp space and time. This is giving us an opportunity to see into our blind spots, to see what's coming around the bend intuitively, to reveal the gravitational force of our unconscious thinking patterns and deeper underlying narratives and beliefs that were hidden. New awareness opens us up to align with new ways of thinking and being. So getting into more of the energy of the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius, this combination with this full moon is all about, because Gemini is about our thinking. It's ruled by Mercury. It is about how we communicate. It is about the words that we use and how those words are interpreted by another. I could say a sentence and it's up to you how you're going to perceive it based on your experiences and your past experiences. So it's storytelling, communication, learning, knowledge, wisdom, and truth. And this is deep, deep, sacred, cosmic truth. Falling on the mutable cross points to the multi-dimensional nature of truth. This full moon wants to reveal a new truth for us to align to and shift out of old patterns, opening ourselves up to new possibilities. We have Mercury that has just stationed direct last week, ruler of Gemini, as I said. Mercury still in Scorpio, getting ready to oppose Uranus in Taurus for the third time. So this is new sudden awareness arising when we're willing to go deep into the depths of our unconscious and hold space for whatever is calling our attention. New realities can be accessed through the depth of feeling. We have Venus in Sagittarius, just beginning her immersion into the underworld phase of her journey. And she's taking us also on an inward journey to recalibrate and recalibrate where we're aiming our energy. The unconscious is coming to the surface to be made conscious. Where is that being directed? And we want to look at fears. Again, what's Black Moon Lilith bringing up? Fears, doubt, insecurity, worry, feeling less than, feeling like we need somebody else to help to save us, a savior outside of ourselves. What's really important here? Where are your values? Where is your energy aiming towards? What is really important? Are we placing value in the right direction? We also have the moon opposing Mars and Venus. Tension between the need for comfort, the need for emotional security versus the desire for real, raw, true, deep relationships. We also have Neptune preparing to station direct at 29 degrees of Pisces, the last degree of Pisces, and will not be in Pisces. It's the last time Neptune will be in Pisces for another 150 years. So we've got a lot of big energy shifts happening all at once. This energy can bring up the collective grief that I feel like many of us are picking up on. If you're an empath, energetically sensitive, I do have to plug my phone in here. Dustin, feeling into this great attractor seems like an invitation to drop into heart and trust the process would be beneficial individually and collectively. Absolutely. Do you think about it? The great attractor, what are we attracting to us? What we have the ability energetically to bend light, to change the narrative, as long as we don't have a strong conviction and a strong inner dialogue going on within us. The super full moon offers an opportunity to perceive with greater clarity the impact of the stories we tell ourselves and the narratives that shape our perception of reality. This is full circle. We're coming full circle around emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Now, the Mars activation, that can really trigger a surge in our tendency to speak without thinking, to make impulsive decisions, to overreact. So you may, if you're not having that experience, you may find yourself surrounded by others who are just quick to react and overreact and speak without thinking and not realizing how they're impacting others that are around them. So yeah, let me plug my phone in real quick. So it would be quite the shame if my phone just, okay. Be quite the shame if my phone died while we were here. All right. So how are you guys doing? What's going on out there in the world? What's going on out there with everybody? I've definitely felt drained, tired. We have a giant coronal hole, earth-facing coronal hole in the sun. That solar wind is just coming towards Earth. And I think the KP index was up to 7 yesterday. So if you're feeling surges of energy, surges of heat, surges of stuff going on physically, this is most likely why. Tori, I'm soaking up your information like a sponge. I feel a little better and I'm cleaning today. Good, good. I'm feeling a little better too. It wasn't that I was feeling bad, but I was feeling off. I wasn't feeling like myself. Lisa says not sleeping well at all. Sleep has been interesting, I will say that. And dreams, if anybody's like having very strange, vivid dreams or experiences in their sleep, we're in this cosmic soup right now. I had a dream. There was a being and it was wrapping, it was almost like a serpent and was wrapping around my foot and my ankle and coming up my leg. And I woke up and I could still kind of feel the sensation on my foot. And I sat up and my cat was not on my bed, but sitting at the foot of my bed, just staring at me. And, you know, cats are very protective. They will ward off spirits and entities and whatnot. So she sleeps with me and she sleeps on my chest. She sleeps close to me, protecting me from anything that's incoming. But she was just witnessing. And it wasn't a bad dream. It was one of those dreams where I was communicating with another being and it was just giving me information that I don't recall. I don't remember what the information is. I think it got interrupted because I was being touched and I don't like that. So I will tell you, and for me, the story's not over yet, but I have a good idea as to what I have not. So what is it that may be coming or rising to the surface that we may not have dealt with all the way? Hoping that it would just fix itself or correct itself, or that it would just go away, or that there was going to be some kind of something that was going to make it all better. Because that's definitely been my experience. And it's not a big one, but I was racking my brain. I was even talking for days, like, what is it that I'm not doing that I'm supposed to do? And I would pull cards and it kept telling me stuck in the past. I wasn't getting the messages because I was getting a little frustrated with, like, I could feel this energy, like, just tell me, let me know. I'm open to receiving. I'm open to doing something. Well, apparently I wasn't that open to what it was that I had to do, and it's not necessarily, it's not done. But as I was driving this morning, it finally came to me, because we are dealing with finances as well as relationship. I don't know what that sound was. We're dealing with finances and relationships. And I have a credit card, as most of us do, that's high interest. And in the past, I used to be able to pay my credit cards down or off every month. I'm not in that financial situation anymore. Haven't been for years. So I've been making the minimum payment, and I know how much money is going towards interest. It actually makes me sick to my stomach. And I know that I need to take care of this, either get a different credit card or get a loan to pay that off or something. But the part in me that was just like, I don't want to do banking stuff. I don't want to walk into a bank. I don't want to talk to anybody about money. None of that. Today it was like, okay, I'm doing it. So I go to my bank and I sit down with a nice woman, and we fill out all the paperwork, or she does it on the computer. And what they could offer me was much better than what I was paying, and it was going to allow me to pay that credit card off completely and have half the monthly payment and half the interest that I've been paying. So I'm like, great. And then this is how the universe works, right? There was something in me that said, there might be something better than this. And I did tell her, I said, you're my first stop. I'm going to shop around for this, but you're my bank. I've been with you guys forever, and I have good credit, all this, blah, 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 blah. It's all automated now. It's all robotic. And she gets the result back and says, I don't know why, but they denied this loan to you. And I said, okay. She goes, but you're going to get a letter, and it's going to explain why. Maybe it's your income or your credit. And I know my credit score is high, or whatever. And I stopped right there. I was good. I said, thank you. Thank you very much for your help. And I'll wait to hear from the results when it comes back. I was good. I wasn't panicking. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, did somebody hack into my credit, and is my credit bad, and blah, 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 blah. I just left. And as I'm driving down the road, I get a phone call from her. And she says, I just wanted to let you know, I talked to my supervisor about this. And my supervisor said, we're going to appeal this if you're okay with it. And I said, absolutely. She goes, I think you're supposed to get this loan. I'm like, okay. She goes, I'm going to be off until Monday if you can wait until Monday. I said, that's fine. But how unusual is that? But the old me would have been crying, would have been angry, would have been victimized, all of that stuff. And this time I was just like, okay, all right, that's fine. So that's an example of what I have been not taking care of for a long time, that I knew I wanted to, I knew I had to, I knew there was a better way, yet I hadn't. The little girl in me was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. But I finally did. I don't know the result. I'll tell you the result next week when I get it. But that's just an example of what have we been bypassing, or skirting to the side, or making excuses, or just assuming that nothing else it's not going to get any better, so I'm just going to accept what is, right? A lot of us do that too. Let me just stay in my comfort zone and just accept what is given to me now. And honestly, earlier in the year, astrologically, it was not the time. we weren't ready for the first 6 months to even deal with any of this stuff until after Libra season. After Libra season, we had many moon cycles where it was opening up saying, hey, you might want to have this hard conversation with somebody. Hey, you might want to, check into, see your options, hear whatever it is for you. Let's see what you guys are saying. Dustin, I'm really resonating with you describing the energy currently. My boss was speaking rudely and not taking in consideration how she was hurting with being condescending, but I didn't react, just observed. Yep. And see how much we've grown, right? In a year? Lisa, I always put off 3D stuff all the time, but it does get taken care of. Yeah, and and that's my experience too, is like eventually it gets taken care of, but there are certain things that like I had to put in that step, right? I just had to get the courage, muster up, like dust myself off and say like, what's the harm in just trying, right? What's the harm in just jumping in there and seeing? And I found it really interesting and comical actually how it turned out. That they called me. She called me. I was probably not even out of the bank parking lot yet, but she called me and she's like, we're going to appeal this for you. I was like, thank you. So that, but I do understand, we've all had, many of us anyway, have had mysterious or magical experiences where suddenly something just is taken care of. We can get to that place, but there are certain things that we have to put in operation. We have to take the first step. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to, so whatever it is for you, and again, I'm feeling very strongly with relationships specifically, but also, and this isn't just romantic relationship, this is co-workers, bosses, family, friends, neighbors, whoever you may come in contact with. How are you relating? What, that kind of, is it that we need to get out of our comfort zone and actually speak up and say, or how do, you guys get the gist, right? But there was such a strong force. It's that pull, that gravitational pull to get out of the discomfort of being complacent. I don't like being complacent anyway, but sometimes when you're just kind of in cruise control in life, you're like, hey, yeah, it's not too bad, until you hit some bumps in the road. And then it's like, oh, I might want to take care of that, or see what my options are, or speak up, or in relationships, for most of us, especially us as sensitive who've had childhood trauma and traumatic experiences, most likely when Pluto was in Capricorn, when we were experiencing all the Capricorn energies, which we have broken free from, for the most part, there's residual, there's still ties to the Capricorn, the Saturn ruled dogma and rigidity and the 3D world, right? There's still residual there, but let's get into relationships for a moment. There may have been times where we did speak up, or did speak our truth, or wanted to have that hard conversation, and we were met with not just resistance, but almost re-traumatizing us all over again. So we retreated back into our shell and just realized, what's the point? What's the point in trying to speak up for myself, or I don't want to re-traumatize myself, right? And that happened with me with the finances. 2020 is the beginning of this. 2020 is when we bought this house, and I sunk all of my retirement money, everything I had saved, into a home. Now that's a great investment. I need a home, but there's that nest egg that was terrifying for me. But I'm glad I did it. I'm definitely glad I did it. But that started the trail of I can't jump back into corporate America. I don't know how I'm going to actually survive financially, but I'm trusting that spirit is going to lead me in that direction, and certainly has. It's been wavy, but always given what I need when I need it. And that goes for everyone. I'm not special. I'm just speaking experience here. We can get to an understanding of how we are deliberately co-creating with the universal energies, and what unconscious, subconscious beliefs, narratives, stories, fears that are underneath below the surface are actually sabotaging our co-creative abilities with what it is that we desire. Other people that are going to be struggling with this energy are those who have been in the pattern, because we're recognizing old patterns, have been in the pattern of people pleasing. We all want to have keep the peace, have peace. Don't want to be looked upon as being difficult or challenging or a problem, or we want to be accepted. But how much of ourselves have we given away by doing that? By not standing up for ourselves, being truthful of ourselves, and saying no, saying those hard no's when we really have a no going on in the body, but yes comes out of the mouth, right? I think we can all relate to that one as well. So, all right, Spirit. What message do you have for us all? Tori's still looking for a pause button in life. Well, I think we are at that, we've been in that lingering pause, liminal space. It is uncomfortable in the unknown, in the void. We don't know what the future holds. It's also the sweet spot. That's where the magic happens, but it's uncomfortable, especially if you have a lot of fixed energy. Fixed signs do not like change. Mutable energy, we're in a mutable cross, easier to go with the flow and bend and adjust and adapt without taking away from yourself. But we've been in this weird pause, and I personally don't really care for it too much, but I understand and I respect the time for this, this great change that we're going through. Because 2026, things are going to rev up and speed up pretty quickly. I mean, life out there is moving fast. We don't have to participate in that. We've been seeking and understanding our natural rhythm, honoring our body's natural rhythm, our energetic body's natural rhythm. And if you're not in flow with that, you will feel exhausted. You will feel dragged, for sure. And that's usually when we kind of find ourselves in a fog, in some confusion. Things may even appear to be foggy or blurry, and time there seems to be like a time lapse of sort, because we're not honoring our natural energetic flow, and everybody's is different. We're not cookie cutter human beings here, 9 to 5 or whatever it is. You know, nobody even does 9 to 5 anymore. It's usually like 8 to 6 or something like that. Dustin says, I feel you, Tori. I keep reminding myself that it doesn't get easier, but we get stronger. We got to trust our power and our support from the unseen forces. Heaven is proud of you, and you are not alone. We are in the process of really tapping into what is home. What is heaven to you? What is that blissful state of pure unconditional love and peace. That's not, life is not all of that, but we can bring that into our reality. And just like I said, eventually, after you put that into practice over and over again, when you get a rejection from the bank, or you get this or you get that, there's no it's neutral. There's no story. There was no narrative going on. Like, it could be like the old me. If I would have done that earlier in the year, I guarantee you I would have left there crying in my car and woe is me and all of that stuff. So we are going through tremendous maturity and growth. Tremendous. It takes time. It really does. So go easy on yourselves. I'll go easy on me. We don't need to project that stuff out into the field, the collective field. There's enough. There's a lot of mess there. Home, heaven on Mother Earth. I like that. I like that. All right, what message do you have for us? Okay. We have 3 of Wands upright, 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Keep your vision alive, I'm hearing. Don't let whatever is going on right now, the challenge, whatever challenges that you face right now, don't see them as something that's tearing you down. Because we're going to be turning this around. This is the energy of victory, overcoming something. In reverse, it's like we kind of feel like something has got a hold on us. Like we're not able to break free from some kind of limitation. Again, relationships and finances are a strong highlight here. Hold. What is that vision? What is that energy? What is it that your soul is leading you to? Soul, I see the sun. She's reaching for the sun. What is it that your soul is calling to you? What is it that you dream about or you daydream about? What is it that you want to create? What is it that we want to create? Don't look at it as a defeat. Because if you have that internal narrative of like, that's never going to happen for me. It happens for other people, but not for me. Or whatever the story is, that is sabotage. That's self-sabotage right there. But that's also an indicator of why things are happening or not happening for each and every one of us. Even like, yeah. All right, we're going to keep going. When you speak it into existence, when we talk about our problems, it's great to talk about your problems so that you can unpack and release. But if it's the only narrative is I've got this problem, that's keeping that energy alive. Queen of Swords, 7 of Swords in reverse. Beautiful. So again, truth, clarity. Truth brings clarity. Get in touch with our truth. Also, perceiving a new truth, a cosmic truth, a reality that may have been hidden from us. 7 of Swords, but it's in reverse, so that's beautiful. This is that energy of I'm unclear, things are foggy, I'm not able to navigate life. But in reverse, what's below that? 6 of Wands. More of overcoming. overcoming the obstacles, overcoming the challenges. See, there's so many more opportunities that our logical mind will just push away. That's not realistic. That's not, you got to realize that we are in a cosmic, energetic experience where all things are possible. There are infinite possibilities out there. And Tori, I'm disabled and I don't drive anymore. That's definitely an obstacle. But not something that allow that to open you up to, so what is possible for me? What is it that I desire? Okay. Sorry. Many of us have been navigating life up to this point with the cards that we were dealt with and making the most out of what it is that we have, that we have to work with. It is important to stay present at every given moment of the day. Not let the mind wander too far into the future or too far back into the past. But stay very present. I like to do a gratitude practice. I actually have another person who sends me almost daily like a whole list of what she's grateful for that day. And it just opened me up to like some things can really suck, but I've got a lot of other things that I can really put my focus on into being grateful. And what can I build from there? What is the vision? Tori, I'm willing to try to find a way. Yeah. We limit ourselves, and then we also believe the outside narrative. That happened to this person, that person. This is what they say, right? I used to get that a lot from an ex who would always be like, they say this and they say that. And I would just say, who are they? Who are they? And what do they know? Right? Because I know from experience that crazy things happen. Things you can't make up. They don't logically make sense. But you know what? When you're open and you believe and you're open to receiving and you understand that there are underlying energies and thoughts and narratives and beliefs within us that are contributing to the unpleasant experiences. Yes, that is a beautiful attitude, Tori. Thank you, Dustin. Where was I going with that? We're just beginning here on this part of the journey of the opening up. Allow the Sagittarius energy to really open up. Bigger picture, like zoom back, zoom out. Get into more of a cosmic mindset. We are not the only living beings in this galaxy. There's so much more. We humans are not the only living beings. The narrative is changing. It's shifting. It's going to get pretty like mind-blowing. going into the next year or two. It already has been, but I think a lot of people are either jaded or sedated or something. I just peek out there into mainstream what's going on, and I see so much. I see so much. And it can go either way. You know, I try not to get pulled into any kind of doom and gloom. I was telling Dustin the other day, every time we get these solar storms, major solar storms, I mean, it happens all the time, but I was out by the lake and just looking up at the sky, and it was just chemtrails everywhere, and they were all making X's. X marks the spot. They were everywhere, and the sky had been just clear blue, not a cloud in the sky. And I sat and watched, and they were just nonstop. There had to have been like 25 planes up there just doing this thing and going by the sun. And I started to get angry because I started to watch the patterns of that, those trails create these feathery, weird looking clouds. And I know that it has not always been that way. I've been a sky watcher for 54 years. I watched the sky. So I did a video. I never posted it. I did a video. I recorded it. Maybe I'll post it later. But then I wanted to go online and see, like, what is mainstream saying about chemtrails? And everywhere I looked, it was saying that's a conspiracy theory, and it's crazy to think, and blah, 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 blah. But I know there were other avenues. I know that Florida and Louisiana both banned what they call weather modification or cloud seeding. But I knew where they're getting that. I also know a few, like, there's a comedian, he's on Instagram, and he's always recording the sky and talking about it. Tori says, I believe. Good. Yeah. You can see all the nefarious acts that are going on to try to dim us down, because this solar energy is really elevating our consciousness. It's doing a number on us physically, but honestly, we're waking up to the truths of what we had been, what we used to believe, what we've been participating in, and what is the actual reality. What is reality? Can we participate in that? Yes, we can. Tell us more about Three of Wands. High Priestess. Two of Wands. Reverse. And the Three of Swords. Right. Hold your vision. Get in touch with what it is that you desire. What it is that you desire to co-create, to create. And also, tap in. Use this energy wisely, guys. This moon energy is helpful. It's going to reveal where we've had pain, where we've been sabotaging ourselves based off of a painful past that has kept us from imagining a different experience. Our imaginations, I remember when I was a kid, now our imaginations are powerful. I had a very vivid imagination. It was what I was told. Little did I know that I was actually receiving psychic downloads my whole life, but vivid imagination is how it was described to me. But I really believed in what I was receiving and what I was seeing and what I was saying. Lo and behold, fast forward like 40 years later, and we have to revert back to our innocence, our childhood, because I was right all along. It was the adults, the parents and the other adults that I was around that were, their beliefs were telling me that I had an overactive and vivid imagination, and that was all, right? But I was the one having the experience. I was the one sharing what I was seeing, what I was picking up, what was being communicated to me by non-physical. Know yourself. Know your pain points. most importantly, let's turn that Two of Wands right side up and get back into imagining a greater future for ourselves. As you imagine, witness and notice what negative thoughts and beliefs or narratives arise. Oh, who was I with today? A business owner that has a dream and has been manifesting and co-creating this to reality. Now, there's been a lot of bumps in the road, but today she said, is this bullshit? Am I building a house of cards? Or am I building this house on sand? I said, no. But those beliefs were coming to life. I have to let my cat in, guys. Sorry. She's going to keep meowing and throwing me off. So pause for a moment here. She just wants to be a part of this too. So full moons, right? We can do a little ritual when the reading's over. Full moons are an opportunity to illuminate that which we have a choice. It's a choice point all the time. What do we want to release, let go of? No longer keep it alive in operation. And so you can do a ritual on your own by just writing it down, lighting a candle. You can either burn it or tear it up, just as like spirit, moon, cosmos, I'm done with this. I want this to be done. I'm letting this go. I'm giving it to you. Big burst of heightened energy just came through. Sorry. So anyone that's feeling stuck or stagnant or like things are never going to change, I'm never going to change, whatever the narrative is, whatever the story is, feeling defeated, not able to overcome this, that narrative itself is depleting you of your energy, depleting you of your chi, of your mana, of your prana, of your life force energy. I'm hearing stop it. But no, truly, this is an opportunity to let that go. We have some big, potent, powerful energies working with us, supportive, working in our favor to course correct. And I feel the pull of those who, and I've been in this boat, so I'm speaking from experience, who have had such a traumatic like experience in life over and over again, and maybe even witnessing others that are just sailing along life, that makes it hard. It's like pouring salt in the wound. But if you keep clinging to that narrative like it's never going to get any better, you're holding that reality into place. I don't know why I'm feeling that energy. I guess it's that push-pull. Yeah. Overall, we have the Hangman. Still being caught up in an energy of suspension. We've had so many pockets of things open up the potential, the possibilities. And it almost felt like a tease this year. This is the year of completion, remember that. But it's like, oh, here you go, and oh, things are good. Okay, no, it's not working. It was like in and out, up and down, all year long. Realize that we are in suspension. We are in Earth School, and there are many things from our past and past lives, our family, our ancestors. We're clearing a lot of karma. This is a karmic choice point, a cross, grand cross, karmic. Karma just meaning what is it that you believe? What are you keeping alive that was passed down to you? And when I say you, us, all of us. Tori, I'm learning to accept things from this space and learning to move forward positively through it. I mean, we have a choice. Would you? Yeah, we all have that choice. And I know it's hard, but eventually we get sick and tired of ourselves, even. Don't let life feed anybody, any of you. I have been watching documentaries a lot lately about homeless people that are addicted to drugs. I've been talking about this a lot. And there's this one guy, his channel is called The Other Side. And I really like it. I like him. I like the way that he goes in very neutrally. He goes in with like a kind heart. He's a light worker for sure, and connects to these people. And I've only watched a handful, 3 so far, but all 3 that I watched so far, and I felt very guided to watch very specific ones. Each and every one of them, I saw right off the bat, they are empaths, psychics, mediums. And they didn't know it, or if they knew it, it wasn't believed. Like my experience is like what I'm telling you as a child, you have an overactive imagination. That's not true. I'm hearing voices. Oh, let's put you on medication, that kind of stuff. And every single one of them dropped out of high school, didn't feel like they fit in, it actually became painful to the physical body to continue to pretend like they were even going to be able to try to fit in society, their families, any of that. And to numb that pain, some of them, it came from prescription meds. It doesn't even matter how it got there. They found a substance that suddenly made them, took it all away. Took that physical pain, that emotional pain, that mental pain away. And they found a collective community of others who had that same experience. Black sheep, outcasted, don't fit in. And they formed these loving, homeless, loving on the streets communities where they look over and watch over each other. But my point is, I actually sent this guy an email because I said, if you need any additional input, I already see that the one girl kept talking about like hearing voices, and she telepathically, she actually admitted, I know that she had the experience where she heard the voice of her brother, I think it was. And then the next day he confirmed it. He had been out in the streets looking for her, crying, and she could hear him in her sensory system. So like, yeah, that's a hard path to walk. The mystic path, difficult. You're not going to fit in ever. Don't try. It's pointless to try. But we do need community. We are social creatures, which is one of the biggest reasons why I appreciate this community and having all of you here, because we're all some sort of misfits from our family, our community, our society, school, whatever. We were never designed to be contained or fit into a box, ever. Take that as your superpower, number 1, because everything is turning upside down. We're in this inverted matrix that is like kind of, it's changing. And now I just saw the great attractor. It's bending. Things are shifting and changing. Queen of Swords. Right. Yeah. We have all that we need and more. Be clear on that. Your truth. What we're born with. Within us. Whether it's our resources, our psychic senses, our loyalty to ourselves, our loyalty to our heart, our loyalty to being a spiritual being in these human suits, having a human experience. So not for the faint of heart, because not easy at all, but we are the ones that see that truth, not trying to fit in. If you look around, those who are, they're numb in their own way. They're either pulled completely into what they look like, their phones, compare and compete, and Christmas time here. And it's hilarious to me because instead I don't see, now this is an observation, I don't want to speak this into existence because I do see communities coming together more. Unfortunately, we humans need catastrophe after catastrophe to come together as brother, sister, we're all one type of thing. So in this spiritual holiday, it shouldn't be, look how many lights I can put up on my house and look how perfect everything looks. It seems like everybody's like competing. Who can have the best decorations? Who can have the oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I see the people I'm witnessing people in their own stuff getting exhausted, saying out loud, this is ridiculous. What am I doing? So I feel like this is a great time for another great awakening for another wave of people. Let's get into one last message. What else did I want to share? I shared about the chemtrails. The emotional overwhelm for some. Pay attention, be mindful. Other people are going to be kind of confused as to why they're feeling what they're feeling. Nobody can bypass this energy. It's like we're going back over skipped steps, like I said. Whatever we thought was over and done with is coming back with great reason, because we don't want to carry it into the future. Let's get one last message for us all from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. And I strongly suggest just taking a moment. Let's all just take a moment and pause. Place our hands on our heart. Focus on our breathing. Coming to a place of stillness, calm within. Remembering where we came from, that we're here on a mission. And that mission is to help humanity through this transition and transformation, to help Gaia, Mother Earth, go through her great purge and transformation. And the earth is speaking loudly right now as well. We've had more earthquakes. There was an earthquake in the UK today, which is rare. Just tapping into what it is that is uncomfortable, that is holding a negative story about yourself or about your journey or about your future. And can you let that go? Can you release that into the energy of this moon this evening? Release it to the cosmos. Allow the great attractor, where the sun is, to twist and bend We're talking about major gravitational force, like a vacuum. So much is going on that we have no clue. I can give you tips, I can give you what I receive, but there's so much more. We have comets, we have 3-eye atlas. There's so much more than even that. There's so much going on deep within the earth and the elementals. And the core of the earth itself is shifting. What we once thought was a big deal to us, when we zoom out, it seems pretty minuscule. And this is not a bypassing, and this is not sweeping it under the rug. But there's a story, there's a narrative. And for any of you that are ready to let that go, release it. Give it to the cosmos, give it to God, give it to Source, give it to the universe. Under the energy of this moon, this full moon, which is powerful. And I highly suggest going outside. I wanted to do this outside so bad. It is 13 degrees, well, it will be 13 degrees out here tonight. Guess where the moon and sun are? 13 degrees of Sagittarius and Gemini. Can't make it up. It's too cold outside for me, but the moon is so big and beautiful. I found that to be interesting. But if you can take a moment and just go outside and stare at the moon, talk to the moon, feel this energy that is working with us. And we have broken open. How beautiful. Each and every one of us, we've been broken open. And instead of trying to patch those holes, numb those holes, why don't we instead honor the light and the newness that is flowing through us? The gift of grief, being shattered as a result of loss, the potential inherent in failure. There are situations in life when you see the value of loss, grief, and a broken heart. Yet, it's not the pain or loss itself that must be the focus of your attention here. No, not even the story of what happened, the details surrounding what brought you to your knees, is as important as what results from the experience. Can you see that this situation has broken you wide open, enabling you to have an even greater capacity for love, compassion, empathy, and understanding? You cannot be the same person as before. The only way forward is to move through it without resistance or manipulation, without attempting to bargain with unseen forces, because none of your usual fallbacks can put you back together again. If you do fall prey to self-absorption or self-pity, it will just make it harder to get to the next gradual phase leading to relief. Yet even if you are prolonging the inevitable, you will get there eventually. The gift is in accepting who you've become as a consequence of integrating this difficult experience and allowing yourself to be more than you were. This wisdom comes at a high price, but the value of your experience of moving through and to the other side is unsurpassed. Love the you that is the result of being broken open by life's challenges and lessons. I love that. I just got the chills. I love that for tonight. because we do want to honor the fact that we've all been cracked open, broken open. And that's to break open the shell, the veneer, the armor that we don't need anymore going forward. There's some beautiful, beautiful experiences that we are about to embark on. So allow whatever arises. Try not to control. If there is something you need to say or do because your heart and your soul and your spirit are talking to you loudly, listen and follow through. But remember the Mars opposition, where we don't want to have knee-jerk reactions, overreactions, or impulsively reacting. So it is important to practice the pause, go slow, honor whatever is arising, whatever life is showing you right now is a big cosmic dance, and we are all in it together. So that's what I have for us all tonight. And I think that we are done with the messages. I think that this is good. I feel good. I hope that you guys do too. I know there was more I wanted to share with you, but it totally disappeared. So I suppose whatever comes up again, I will share. But we're going to wrap up tonight's live. I'm sending you guys all so much love, and get excited. This is powerful. This is beautiful. We can bend time and bend. We are creating new timelines. Allow things to open. Believe and trust and be open to receiving. And definitely, if you feel stuck, ask for guidance, ask for support, open yourself up to, give permission. Your guides, the angels, they're always here. We have to give them permission to step in and communicate and give us signs and give us messages and give us guidance. So stay open to that as well. Sending you guys all so much love. I hope you have a beautiful night or day wherever you are in the world. And until next time, take care. Bye. There's a delay on the comments. Thank you. You're welcome, Tori. Dustin, I see 12 people now here in the chat. If you could all please like this video so YouTube algorithm sends us to more. I believe there are powerful messages that many can bless many. Thank you, Dustin. Yes, if you guys forgot to click the like button, please make sure that you do. The people are chatting off now, but I appreciate all of you so much. And until next time, thank you. Take care. Bye.